the last reason I was keeping my cable was because of the Dodgers.
Hmm.
I don't really need to anymore though because MLB, you I think it's $160 a year. It's
Yeah.
all based for all teams. So I'm like, I'm paying 150 a month, I think, for all this cable, and I don't need it anymore. And now this TV that I have,
Uh-huh.
it comes with like a remote that says Netflix and YouTube on it
And
and Prime.
YouTube's big. I mean, I think most stuff I watch now is YouTube.
Does your TV come with this
Oh,
remote?
it
Like,
comes with not the remote, but it comes with apps, so I could just go to the app.
yeah, but on the it's so funny because it's so embedded and everything. But this has like a YouTube, Netflix, and Prime Video
Oh, that's big.
button. I just push it, and I have YouTube subscription, Prime, and Netflix. So
You don't need the
I
cable.
realize I don't need now that I have if I just order that baseball MLB package, 160 a year is a pretty good deal. It still stinks that you have to pay it,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna be saving on the cable bill.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Hey there, welcome back to Pod and Deliver. Tonight, Ruben, we're looking at an article from ABC News titled "Teachers Want the Public to Know Their Job is Difficult." New survey finds. It's stated April 4th, 2024, and the writer is by the name of Arthur Jones II. And it's based on a Pew Research study that was done recently, looking at several questions and talking to teachers, not just teachers, but parents and adults. And so one of the things that came out, Ruben, was that the survey really gave a good picture of where teachers are at least from the people they talked to, right? They 51% of teachers, it says, want the public to know their job is tough. It's tough. 82% of public education teachers believe it's worse than 5 years ago. And remember, we had COVID, and that's a big part of it, I'm sure. Although I thought it was interesting that 80% felt that, you know what, they're pretty satisfied with their jobs. So you got a lot of these statistics in this article, Ruben. Um, one of them was 84% say that it's really hard to balance work and school. And I think that's something that I know I've dealt with in my life when I have, when you have children and so forth. But the big thing that came out, I thought, about this article, Ruben, is that anxiety, and we've talked about this before, and health issues is definitely still very high. I guess I thought it was pretty cool to read it just because I feel like I see it all the time. And when they address that, I thought that was a good thing to address. Um, Although it did sadden me that 52% of teachers do say that, hey, I wouldn't recommend this job to a young person. I'm gonna have to say I'm part of one of those people because my son was thinking about teaching, and I kind of encouraged him to do maybe more counseling because teaching is just getting just more difficult. And then again, I will say, and I'll let you have a take on it, that I do think that mental health and that needs to be more addressed, and we need to have more counselors and psychologists on campuses because a lot of these kids, boy, they are just struggling, and the attendance. They mentioned the attendance is really bad. I know at my school, Ruben, I have I have difficulty with attendance, and I thought it was maybe me. And am I the only one having problem with 14, 15 kids missing? And I'd like to see the audience too if they're having those issues at their schools because we're having it at my school. Attendance is really low. Kids are, since COVID, kids have just really had a tough time coming back to school, and and I know they miss because I asked them, "Why'd you miss?" They go, "Well, I'm having a bad mental day or something." So they use that language now. I'm not sure if they're using it for excuses, but or if it's really they are having some mental health issues. But Ruben, I guess like I said, the big thing that came out of it for me was that they do want to address this mental health, which we've talked about before, for kids to continue to the schools work on hiring staff that will help kids in this area. So,
Well, I want to address the mental health issue. I know we've
mhm.
addressed it before on this channel, but before I do think that as well, the 80% satisfied with their job or somewhat satisfied is pretty high.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, a lot of people who are not satisfied with their job. And whenever I'm having a bad day, I'm thinking about the pole climber who is fixing the lines in 98-degree heat in Silmar. Maybe they're having a worse day than I am. So 84% don't have enough time to grade, to do lesson plans or other paperwork. Now, I want to say that grading is so important for the student-teacher relationship. among other reasons why you should grade their work, give immediate feedback. And feedback could also be presentation, and it could be in the moment. Student get up, they deliver a speech. Why wait a week before you give them their grade? Do it then and there. Tell them, I really like, when we do this every time we have presentations, I really like this. You give them the warm feedback. This is what I like. This is what you can work on. You always give them a cool. And then every once in a blue moon, I love it when I tell a student, I don't have any cool feedback for you. That was perfect. And I hate giving perfect grades like that, but they glow because they hear it every week. They hear that cool feedback, and they want warm feedback only. So there's a way to give grading in the moment, and then put it a priority, because grading is often related to how they feel about you, how they feel about the class. If you're not grading their work on time, then maybe why should they turn their work in on time? Why should they put in an emphasis into your work? They're going to look at other classes or do other things if you're not prioritizing this. I'm making
That's
a
true.
big emphasis on this because um, our friend Sonia mentioned that one of her children had a teacher who didn't grade for months. What does that say about how the teacher views the students? You don't grade, you're expecting them to do your work, and you don't grade. Now 84% don't have enough time. Man, find the time. I know for me that meant me leaving because I had to do it on the
Right.
weekend. But I think it's priority one. That's why I'm really emphasizing it, is the immediate feedback, and the student hears it and they want to repeat it, especially if it's good. I also noticed that 91%, like you mentioned, said students had high anxiety. So I know we all chime in about school psychologists and things like that. I just want to point out that you're right, but what is our role? Our role is to teach the content, because that is a way we can address mental health, is through books. In my case, teaching books, literature helps. It makes us feel better about ourselves when we read good literature. And also take a week where you just do games, social bonding. We did that at Granada, where I used to work. We took a whole week and we did nothing but play and connect. And I have 1,000 games. I'm going to do that in the summer when I go to Indonesia and train teachers. I'm going to teach them different games if they're interested, because later on, when we did that for a week. Now, did you know we did that for a whole week? Did I tell you that before?
No.
And we did nothing else. So that whole week, now talk about doing something that is uncomfortable for me, because I don't like playing. I don't like wasting time. You know how I get. I don't like wasting time, and I feel like game playing. What do we for a whole week and do nothing? But we were encouraged. We got the green light from our admins to do that, and I stuck with the plan. And later on, when I surveyed students, one of the girls mentioned, several students mentioned their favorite, because I asked, how am I doing? What did you like about my teaching? What can I improve? Several people mentioned that week. And one of the students said, that week was so important because I would have never met so and so, Peter in the class, Justin. I met Justin through that, and we
Right.
became friends after that. And I thought, wow, some of these students don't know. Of course, they're anxious. They lost 2 years of social connections and how to build bridges. Maybe this is a chance for us to do that. Of course, they have anxiety because they don't have friends in some cases. Let's teach them how to approach somebody, and through games and through activities like that. I highly recommend it. If you're able to get away with it for one whole week, every day, Monday through Friday, the beginning of the semester, try it. It really builds bridges there, builds
Maybe
bonds.
if you can't do that, maybe like, because when you're sharing that, Ruben, I think that's a wonderful idea. But if you, let's say you can't get it through the admin, at least have something maybe the first 10, 15 minutes every day for a
Yes.
week or 2 weeks, because like you said, the kids really eat that up, and they're having a tough time making connections right now. So I think that would be great for them to do that. So yeah, good idea.
That's my 50 cents.
Yeah. So, I mean, that being said, I think, these articles like this that give us, they give us data, percentages, and sometimes you just kind of like just read it through, but sometimes, like we're talking about this, kids who are having anxiety and so forth. This is important stuff. This is important information for us to grapple with, not only teachers, but the admin and those running schools, because our kids are obviously suffering. The numbers are down. Ruben, our school, I'm going to tell you how bad our math and English scores are right now. They're horrendous, to the point where we're being looked at differently from other schools, although other schools are having the same issues. So yeah, the information like this is helpful just for us to at least have those conversations and start thinking about how do we address some of these issues. But thank you again, audience, for coming along with us and joining us on Pod and Deliver. We hope you have a good night, and we'll see you soon. Don't forget to go ahead and hit that button, be a subscriber to our show. We really appreciate it. Have a good night. Bye bye.